Hey guys, my name is Bailey Moss, and I'm an account manager here with MSCRMaddons.com. I've been with MSCRM Add-ons for going on 4 years, and my primary responsibilities are around sales, so that's licensing, proof of concept, training, and even sometimes product support. But yeah, so today we'll be talking about document generation and delivery via Powerapps and Flow, primarily around the leveraging of DocumentsCorePack. So a quick agenda, I'll start with an about us as a company, then I'll go to a high-level overview of DocumentsCorePack, kind of how it works, the main factors around it, and then yeah, in the slideshows, should be quick, and go straight into a demo of 3 what I believe to be real-world use case scenarios. At the end of this session, we'll also have around a 5-minute Q&A, so if you have any questions, save them for that Q&A. Additionally, if you have any additional questions after this session, you can reach out to us on our website via phone, email, or chat. But yeah, so a little bit about us. We were founded in 1998, and we've been doing primarily, back then, Microsoft CRM add-ons since 2005. We've got an office in Austria as well as the US, where I'm based out of in Atlanta, Georgia. We're a Microsoft Gold partner, and we've got 7 solutions for Dynamics 365 and Powerapps, but today I'll focus on one, which is DocumentsCorePack. But yeah, so a little bit about DocumentsCorePack. It's really made up of 3 core elements, starting with design. So that's going to be our template designer, which is included with the license. So this is a local Word add-in, so all your templates are going to be built in Word, and it brings in all of that metadata from CRM or your Dataverse instance in terms of fields, relationships. So you can bring in those fields into a Word document as well as dynamic tables, dynamic images from SharePoint, QR codes, which I'll show in just a little bit, as well as much more. The next element is going to be the generation or processing. So along with the template designer, you need a service, which with our subscription licenses we host. So that's going to be, you generate the document, it gets sent to this service, and you can set it up to automatically email, send through an e-signature provider such as Adobe Sign, DocuSign, or SureSign. You can set it up to save to SharePoint automatically, print, create an activity, and several other items as well. So if you have a use case, please reach out to us, because there's a good chance that we've already seen it or already have something set up for it. The next element would be automation. So this is going to be through Microsoft Flow using our Flow connectors, or Dynamics Workflow using our Flow workflow actions. And this is all encompassed in the Microsoft Dataverse. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the slideshow. So I'll go ahead and get into the demo, or the first scenario, which is going to be a conference sign-up app. So when I was coming up with or trying to figure out ideas to show, I thought, given that this is DynamicsCon, and it's been quite a while since I've been to a physical conference, I'd like to imagine what first walking into DynamicsCon would be, which would have to be the registration table. So first, like most requirements that I see, we start out with a document. So in this case, it's going to be the registration name cards. So this is our template designer in Word. And this is what we call a label template, because it's infinitely repeating depending on how many records are selected or defined. In this case, I'm just bringing in the full name field from the contact, the account name, and also a dynamic QR code. So this is actually going to be the GUID of that contact record. So now that I've got my template, it's saved back to Dynamics to be used. Now I'll go ahead and go into the Canvas apps itself. So if I go here and open up my conference signing app, which I've done in DynamicsCon theme, lots of purple, including the Powerapps. So instead of new attendee, I'll go to already registered. And this would just be your end user case. And I'll go ahead and search for me, Bailey Moss. And then, so say I'm an end user, I'm making sure these details are correct. You can update them. And this is where DocumentsCorePack comes in. So when you hit print name and card pass, as soon as I hit that, what it's doing is kicking off instant cloud flow through Power Automate, and using our DocumentsCorePack connector to take that template, generate it, and print the name cards via the service. So our service can connect to 3 cloud print providers, which is going to be Microsoft Universal Print, Printix, and PrintNode. In this case, I'm using PrintNode. But as I've been talking, you can see it already got a response. So your name card is ready. Check printer. So if you actually hear in the background, that is my printer running. But instead of going to get that sheet of paper, I'll just show you a test that I ran earlier. So as you can see, it's printed my name, a company name, and set that QR code dynamically. But yeah, so that's a single record in this case. But we also support with these label templates is multiple records. So a single document, multiple records. So if I were to go back and go to, say, I want to register for a sponsor and get all of my attendees passes at once, I'll go to sponsor, a datum. There's all my attendees and print sponsor passes. So same thing in the background. This is initiating a instant cloud flow. DocumentsCorePack is generating that document from the template that you created and sending it to the printer. To give you an idea of what that looks like, it's going to be this right here. So it'll be the QR codes, but it's infinite. It can infinitely repeat depending on how many records you have selected. To give you an idea how this works in the flow side, I'll go ahead and open up the flow and just show you. So I've got 2 flows, one for the multi and one for the single. I'll go ahead and go into the single name card flow here. And this is definitely the simpler of the 2 because it's really only 3 actions, and that's going to be the trigger from Power Automate, which is that button push, the create document, which is one of our actions through our connector. So all I'm doing is defining the template ID, the entity ID, which is pulling from Powerapps, so whichever contact or lead I have open, setting the file type, and then defining the printer. So that's all it takes. And then, of course, the response, which is just saying your name card is ready, check printer. In terms of the multi-card flow, it gets a little bit more complex, but still not complex in terms of most flows. So I'll go to the multi-name card flow here and hit edit. Same thing, we've got a trigger. In this case, it's listing the contacts. So I need to list all contacts related to that record that's open in the Power App. And then I'm initializing a variable. And then I want to apply to each, which is really just getting all of those contacts in the format that DocumentsCorePack can read. So you can see that. And then I'm creating an auto merge working item, which is in the background is the DocumentsCorePack request. And then I'm making sure that request is done. And then printing, respond to Powerapps. So it's really that simple. All of these functionalities can be leveraged in so many ways. It's that we really consider DocumentsCorePack to not be a vertical solution because we've seen it used in so many different areas from something as simple as name cards to complex reports as well as contracts, which I'll show a little bit of here shortly, to even like statements, email content as well. So you can set this up for email content. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the first use case I wanted to show around that conference sign up app. Just to get you another look at that beautiful formatting there. But yeah, so I'll go to my next app, which is going to be for the field service or work orders. So in this case, I envisioned a field service tech needing to get an in-person signature on a work order agreement. So in that case, we'll open that up really quick, and I named it the work order app. So I won't create a new work order. I'll just go straight to an existing, and I'll select my work order here. And then same thing. So this is bringing back data from Dynamics, from the work order entity. You can also, of course, make some of this changeable. This is all Powerapps handled. But where DocumentsCorePack comes in, it's the button once again. So what this is doing, as soon as I click that, it's initiating an instant cloud flow. This time though, it's generating the document from the template, which I will show after it's done. Once it's generated, it's actually sending through Adobe Sign. So we do integrate with Adobe Sign. So it's easy to create Adobe Sign templates with a lot of dynamic content and formatting. And then it's also using DocumentsCorePack to generate an in-person link that we return back to the app. So as you can see here, it's returned this button, and the background of this button is an in-person signature link from Adobe that's pulled in from DocumentsCorePack. So I'll go ahead and hit sign with Adobe. And it looks like my thumbnail isn't loading. Go ahead and refresh that really quick. There it is. So yeah, so this is my template with all the data filled in. So you've got work order number, type, basic work order fields. But here you can see there's a dynamic table as well as a total amount, which you can set as a calculated field, or you can just bring in the total amount field. But if you wanted to calculate 2 tables totals, you can set that up through the DocumentsCorePack template designer. But yeah, and then we have our signature. So it's really easy to embed these signature fields as well as other Adobe Sign fields such as date, initials. You can really insert all of those. Another nice feature of using Adobe Sign with DocumentsCorePack, of course, is that Adobe Sign tracks back those agreements, in this case, back to the work order entity. So you can actually see that its status is signed or waiting on signature. But yeah, it's really a great combination of 3 things here, which is going to be Canvas, or 4 things: Canvas app, Power Automate, DocumentsCorePack to Adobe Sign. But yeah, to give you an idea of what this template looks like generally, and to show you how it can be changed, and how to insert a field, just a quick example. So this is that template that I use for Adobe Sign. You can see my signature fields down there. And those are inserted as simple as insert Adobe Sign item, and on the other screen it's showing signature, initials, date, email. But yeah, so say I wanted to just insert, I'll just insert a random field here to show you what this looks like. I'll just do from the work order, I will say I want address. I will do, let's see, this is going to be the GUID, but why not? So I'll do that and then hit Save Template. And as soon as I save, it'll ask me if I want to override the existing. Actually, I'll save, yeah, I'll go ahead and override the existing. And so when I'm saving this, it's saving back to Dynamics, so it can be used by the service as well as leveraged in Power Automate and Canvas apps. And so from there, we'll go back and I'll actually regenerate this really quick. So I will go back. Existing work order, I'll choose a new one in this case, and generate. All right, and you can see it's returned that link again, so I'll go ahead and hit Sign with Adobe Sign. And it looks like, yep, and there it is. So there's that field that I just inserted. It's bringing in the GUID, just to give you an idea of how easy it is to add, remove fields from these documents or from these templates using the DocumentsCorePack template designer. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my Canvas app use cases. Now I'm going to head over into the model-driven app for the Sales Hub. So I'll head to the Sales Hub. For this use case, what I was thinking of is a sales proposal, but I also want it to be approved. So I want this to, if it's over a certain amount, I want to send my proposal to a manager for approval. This is going to be through the opportunity entity, and this is again going to be leveraging some DocumentsCorePack kind of native functionality. So if I go to implement this opportunity, implementation of all MS-CRM add-ons products. So I'm going to use our standard create document button here from DocumentsCorePack. And that's going to show me a list of available one-click actions, which we have great videos as well as KB articles on how to create one of these actions. These are one-click actions are really predefined option sets for document generation. So in this case, it's going to be a multi-part document. So it's going to be taking multiple templates, merging into a single document, and then processing how I've defined. So I'll go and hit that. You can see that you can really simplify this and leave as much user control as you'd like. Since it's a multi-part document, I went ahead and made one of the documents or one of the templates standard. So that's going to be the cover page is always included. But I also want to include the proposal itself as well as the quotes all in a single document. So as soon as I hit next, it's going to be sending that document to be generated through the service, and it should. And I've also set up a preview step, which you can remove. So I want to preview my document here really quick. You can see it there. It's got the cover page, the proposal, which is mostly just lorem ipsum, and then my quote template with another one of those dynamic tables. Now, one thing about one-click actions, another feature that we've added is the ability to kick off flows or Power Automates. In this case, this one-click action actually kicks off an approval. So instead of sending it automatically, it checks. I'll hit finish, and it's actually initiating an instant cloud flow via HTTPS request. And what that's looking at is, I'll actually go to the flow to describe this. So if I go to my flows and the flow connected to that one-click action, and we're also passing several parameters along with the HTTP request, so you can grab those parameters in the flow itself. See if I can get this to load a little quicker. All right, and as you can see here, so it's the trigger, which is initiated via the one-click action. Now it's getting that opportunities details. It's creating an email message. It's creating email content, which can also be, which in this case is also a DocumentsCorePack template. So you can set that as well as the subject dynamically through DocumentsCorePack. It's adding the email content to the email message itself and attaching the proposal, which that multi-part document, and it's actually bringing that in from the HTTP request. It's attaching that to the email. Now is the approval flow. So it's actually starting and waiting for an approval. The approval in this case is the opportunity amount greater than 10,000? If so, send for approval. So I'll go over here, and as you can see, there is my proposal. So approval needed. As the manager, I can check that proposal really quick. All right, yeah, this all looks good. So I'll go ahead and approve it here. No comments. And now we'll go back to Power Automate, and it should now, and as you can see, it's now running. It's running through. So now it's using another DocumentsCorePack flow action to actually send that email. So it's now sending that Dataverse email record, and I should receive it here in my inbox shortly. And there it is. So official approval. So as you can see, it's attached multiple templates into one as the proposal, which is all dynamic. It has set the email content dynamically, which is another template, and also set the subject dynamically. Yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the demo portion of this session. A few other items I'd like to mention, just helpful resources. I'll go ahead and switch to my slideshow here. So all of our products, including DocumentsCorePack, include a free 14-day trial, which can be started via AppSource or our website. And our website's going to be www.mscrm-addons.com. In terms of support info, with that 14-day trial, support is included. And support can be reached via phone, email, or chat. And we also have a great knowledge base as well as webinars and short video series on how-tos and how to install kind of use cases similar, basically short form sessions. And then as well as our pricing. So our pricing is all available on our website as well. But yeah, now we'll switch over to the Q&A. So thank you for joining my session. Well, hey, everybody.
Hey, hello. Hey, Bailey. I thought you did a great job, man. I thought what you did was use some really relevant examples that I think a lot of people can relate to. And not only just take those basic examples, but I'm sure that's got people thinking of ways they can even further expound upon them. While at the same time, I thought you stepped through it, making it look fairly easy to do and quick to pull back the needed results, while at the same time, still digging in a little bit on the technology side and showing really how you can pull these kind of things together. A couple of the questions that I kind of had, which I think some of the audience might also wonder, is, things like for these examples. I mean, they looked great, but how long did you really spend building out these types of things, and what type of training might people either need or resources available to perform similar type?
So if you're experienced, so first off, I'd say on the Flow and Powerapps or Power Automate and Powerapps side, if you're more experienced than me, which is very likely, it'll be much quicker. So it took me about 2 days of some solid work while doing my existing, work job and opportunities I have to work with. So yeah, I'd say about 2 days. Although for me, the quickest part was, of course, DocumentsCorePack. And if you'd like to speed up that process as well, we do offer professional services, whether that's training or actually building out your templates for you. So if you want to speed up building out something like what was shown in our session, then that's really the quickest option. But overall, I mean, DocumentsCorePack is so friendly to use. After about 2 weeks, if you're familiar with the word and you're familiar with the relationships and dynamics, it becomes second nature pretty quickly. And would you agree that it's at least in my experience, the friendliest template builder as well as as setting up generation.
Well, that's been one of the keys to our success over the 18 years, really making a solution that isn't to it enough, where people can quickly download it as an add-on. But I think what people have seen today, it's much more robust than you would usually associate with a fairly simple add-on. Anybody on the call that isn't aware of this, we feel so strongly about our products and the ability to, for you to get your hands on it and start really using the power of it, that every one of our 7 add-on solutions, including DocumentsCorePack, has free trials available. If you go to the Microsoft App Store, you can quickly start a free trial, that'll include a 2-week trial period. So you can try the type of things that Bailey showed today. A couple other things, we do want to support you, although we do try to make it easy for you to get up and running. We do provide free support during the trial period. So 17 hours a day, Monday through Friday until 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have people available to help, if you do run into those kind of problems. 17 hours might sound funny, but that's because our home office is in Austria, and then we roll over to our Atlanta support later in the afternoon.
Yeah, and one thing I'd like to tack onto that, because I think it's kind of along the support area, is we have a great knowledge base as well as webinars. And then Heidi, thank you for the question on the templates, even though I definitely misunderstood it at first. But including our knowledge base, we also have short form videos on our YouTube channel that include, and these are all included in our knowledge base as well, but it's makes it really easy to install. I mean, it walks through every step in a video. It's 10 minutes long, as well as a matching blog article. And then to also mention Heidi's question around Power Automate templates, that's not something we currently have. We don't have any of the items we showed as a template available in Power Automate, but it's a great, and thank you, Heidi. It's a great thing that I'm actually going to ask our product manager about, which is the process of adding these, because I know you have to submit them and they get a review for a template, but I think that would be an awesome addition. At least some simple, maybe not all the ones I showed, but at least some simple examples. And then, okay, yeah, so there's another question in the chat. What about the Power Automate actions and connectors? So that is included with everything I showed, apart from, of course, paying for e-signature through Adobe Sign. Everything is included with your license or subscription. And so with the Power Automate actions and connectors, they're available in Power Automate currently. So you can just set those up and you just connect them to your service. We've got a great KB article on how to do this. It's really just an API key. So if you have a DocumentsCorePack service, you can instantly set it up to your Power Automate actions or your connector there. So it's as simple as copy and pasting a unique API key.
You mentioned the e-signature. That is one of the more exciting features. It was fairly recently added to DocumentsCorePack. Right now, we've have partnerships where we're integrated with DocuSign, AssureSign, and Adobe Sign. And each one of them, the reason they partner with us is they recognize we do a great job of generating good-looking professional documents with that information buried in CRM. And we recognize they do a good job handling the e-signature piece and all the functionality and features they bring along to the e-signature process. And what I always like is it's had a huge impact on a number of our different customers. It can do so much to expedite the overall sales process, where people can go and immediately send out contracts for signature, significantly reducing how quickly you can get all needed signatures needed for a contract and get money in the bank that much quicker. We've had some real success stories with customers that are using e-signature very effectively. And we don't charge anything extra on our side for that integration. It's included in our base solution. You'll, of course, have to have an agreement with either Adobe Sign, AssureSign, or DocuSign. But that is some really strong functionality that helps, really, really makes a lot of the standard sales processes smoother. I'm right in the middle of buying and selling my house right now, and I can't tell you how many things go through e-signature process. It's becoming something that customers almost have come to expect. And I think a lot of you will be amazed how quickly you could add that kind of strong feature and functionality to your existing processes with a combination of DocumentsCorePack and an e-signature provider.
Yeah, and also within Flow or Power Automate and Powerapps, as shown, it's pretty easy to enable that same e-signature functionality. And because with like Adobe Sign in-person links, it helps really for any field service workers or any non-office based workers. For e-signature, it helps a lot. You generally don't want to carry a printer. In my experience, the least reliable device in the office is the printer. So having to being able to not need that and instantly have someone sign it in front of you on an iPad, tablet, or phone really enhances the capabilities there for any of our contracts or generated contracts.
No, it's funny. I sometimes talk to people that haven't looked at our DocumentsCorePack solution in a while. They're kind of blown away by how far it's come. We really have had the product out now for 18 years. We've continued to build and refine upon it. E-signature capabilities, the strong integration with Power Automate. It continues to open up whole new ways that our DocumentsCorePack solution can be done, and really to make life easier for the end users as they do try to pull all that information buried in the CRM and put it in a presentable format that they can share with the customers and others.
Sorry about that. Just reading the chat, keeping up to date. No new questions as of yet. But a few items that I'd like to bring up is also pricing. I don't think we brought up this in our last demo. So pricing is publicly available on our website. But if you have any unique requests or just want to learn more about how our pricing structure or licensing works, feel free to reach out to myself or Patrick, as well as our office email on our website, which is really where all of our information is held. Those KB articles, support, how to start a trial. But the trial also can be started via AppSource. If you'd prefer to go the AppSource route, they are available and certified on AppSource. And that's DocumentsCorePack as well as our 6 other solutions.
All right. So Bailey, you also had a big weekend this past weekend, didn't you? So I know that you said you did manage to do this in a couple of hours along with your normal job. But in addition to that, I think you also had some other things going on, didn't you?
Yeah, I was quite busy. I was planning a wedding. So when this was recorded, I was not married, and now I am. So that was great. I mean, it was a great weekend and definitely an interesting honeymoon coming right back into a conference, even virtual. But my wife is a teacher, so we decided to wait until Thanksgiving break. But yeah, glad to be here and yeah, it was just a great weekend. Definitely a little stressful leading up to it though.
All right. We did talk about e-signature. Did you have any interesting scenarios pop up recently, Bailey, that you found kind of a little bit out of the norm or that was kind of interesting to tackle?
In terms of e-signature, I haven't had a very recent scenario besides just the standard contract. So, well, funny enough, lining up with getting married is a recent e-signature is, law firm providing legal documents for divorce. It was the e-signature. So that was funny enough. I was like, this is not a bad omen. This is a good, it was a great time. But one of my favorite things about e-signature is going to be the passback of your ability to track where the document's at. So it's not only, it speeds up the process, not only through being able to sign it instantly, it speeds it up by knowing when it's signed and when you can expect it back. So all the e-signature providers generally provide tracking within Dynamics. And with that, you can set up reminders through Flow. So it's really like an all-encompassed sales cycle. Like, you can send in the document, wait for approval, set a reminder to follow up, and then you can actually see when it's completed. But looks like we've got 1 minute left. So thank you everyone for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us directly. We're also happy to provide a live and personalized demo as well and really work through your requirements. But yeah, that's it, I think.
All right. Thank you, everybody.